It's KIREI here for Hit Kit Club, and I am working with the fabulous April 2024 kits. My assignment for this layout was mixed media, so I focused on the colour kit and the Pocket Life stamp set, and I'm also using elements from a number of the other 2024 April kits, main kit, embellishment kit, Pocket Life cards, and cardstock kit. Okay, so I have gutted one of the pattern papers, and I'm just creating a frame, and then I'm adding my white cardstock to the background, and then I've pulled out a number of the Pocket Life cards. I've cut those up, the narrow ones, and I've layered them with some pieces of pattern paper, and we've got paper from the main kit, and then papers from the cardstock kit as well. Now I've just sort of marked where they are on my background because I'm going to add some inks to the background. Now I start off here, and I've left it in because here we go, blooper. I was going with the packaging technique, and but I was needing to keep it into sort of a narrow, area, and that just didn't work for me. So started again. I just turned the white card over. That was okay, and then I'm just using it on a an acrylic block, and then I've just got a little bit more control over it. So I'm adding just a little bit of water, swiping the ink onto the acrylic block, and adding a little bit of water, and then just dragging it down. And I'm just doing it at the top and the bottom because the rest of it will get covered up. And then I'm just adding some splatters to the that as well. And then I'm working with the next color in the center and do the same at the bottom. And then I'll work with the third color. But these are the Hero Arts reactive inks, and I'm using Blue Hawaii, Pool Party, and Splash. Actually, no, I'm not, because that's what just realised. I've gone back and I've used the one I used at the beginning. So I didn't actually use Pool Party in the end. So I've used Blue Hawaii and Splash. Yes. Okay, so slight boo-boo there, but hey, that's okay. It's all fine because they're all blues. They coordinate nicely with the with the pattern papers I'm going with. So yeah, they're actually reactive ink, so they're like a hybrid ink. So they also react with water, and you can see I've added the it gives really great color, but I've got my splatters on the top, and you get a really nice definition with those splatters. But yeah, they're really nice things to work with. And I'm not one, I don't do lots of mixed media, but I do like it when I have a play, and it is really worth sometimes having a play with different inks to see the different effects that you can get. So I've added my photo to one of the chipboard frames from the chipboard die cuts in the main kit, and I'm just about to I start layering these down and just working out where they're going, just making sure they're nice and straight. And then I've suddenly realized I was going to do some stamping. So in a minute, you will see that I'm going to pull them all up. I'm still sticking them down. Haven't remembered that yet. I think this layer, honestly, I made so many different. I was meant to use 3 different coloured inks, and I've used 2. I dropped my ink the first time, and yeah, forgot that I'm stamping. Here we go, pulling it all off. So yeah, it was really just one of those layouts where I was just I was just not not in the right headspace. I think I was just going all over the place. But anyway, it's fine because it all comes together in the end. It's not a problem. Here we go. So I've just added the acrylic stamp to the acrylic block. Now, what I just did there, I used an eraser just to prep the surface of the stamp. Now, that is a top tip, and it's not from me. I found it literally the other day, and it really helps prep the stamps that first time, so you get a really nice crisp stamp when you when you do this. So because otherwise the inks don't adhere quite as well. So by just using a rubber eraser over the acrylic stamp, it just gives a much nicer finish. So yeah, that was something I didn't know. So yeah, I literally found it the other day. Seeing some, I can't remember what it was, but Someone mentioned it and I thought that I need to remember that because that's a great idea, because I know I've sort of wondered that in the past. But anyway, there we go. Top tip. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of stamping detail. I'm not adding loads because really it's just a little bit at the top and the bottom. And I've added the circular stars. There's like a little round sort of sunbursty and then a little heart. And I'm just adding that at the top or the bottom on each of those 3 rows, because really a lot of it is covered. So, and I didn't want to start stamping too much because I wanted to leave some white space around these 3 columns. Okay, so got that done now, so I can actually start to get things stuck down, just making sure those 3 pieces in the background are nice and straight. And then I did distress all the edges actually for these, and I am now just sort of really lifting them up, just getting a little bit more layer and dimension into there. And then I can get the photos and these second pieces stuck down. So I'm raising these on foam pads, and then I will add my photos, and the photos will sit flat because I've already got a raised layer. And I'll mount the 2 photos on the outer in the same pattern paper as the frame that I've added. So here we go. They are now all stuck down, and then I've just brought in some of the little sort of journaling like tags, little journaling strips, and I'm going to add a little bit of stamping to those. And I've got the Pocket Life stamp set, and I'm just pulling out some of the words that work for me with my photos. So I think I've got "Oh What a Day," "Perfect." I do stamp a couple of others as well, "April," and there was one other, but I actually didn't end up using them in the end because it just didn't work for me once I started putting everything down. But I do stamp them. In fact, I'm stamping them now. So I think this one, oh, that's right. This one was like "So Amazing." And then I do stamp "April" because it was April. But yeah, I don't use those 2 in the middle in the end, because actually I use that space for journaling. So yeah, but that's fine. I've kept them and I can use them again. So yeah, so just adding the stamping here, and then I will I will raise some of these up on foam pads, and some of them will sit flat, though I will lift the edges, of course. I'm never going to have anything completely flat here. Oh, I was starting to stamp and then just decided I didn't want it to go across the onto the blue area on that little sort of tag there. So I went for a shorter word. I think this one's perfect. And then there we go. So I think happy with all of those. And now I can start to get them stuck down. So I will just add some foam pads just to get that dimension. There we go. Okay. So while I'm working on these, I'll just reminder for those of you who do not subscribe to the Hip Kit Clubs, do pop on over to their website. You'll find all the information on subscribing to their fabulous kits. They are obviously exclusive and are not available anywhere else. And you will, when you start a subscription, you subscribe to the main kit, but you can add on any of the other kits and you will get a 15% discount with any additional kits. And they also ship free with your main kit, which is fabulous. And when you're a subscriber, you also have access to all of the wonderful cut files, and there's lots of those. So you have access to all of those, and you'll get there are also free cut files that come each month. So plenty of choice. Okay, so where am I? Okay, I've pulled out different pieces of ephemera. So I've got the floral ephemera, I've got the wood veneer die cuts. What else? And I'm just sticking those, I'm getting those all tucked in. And I've sort of added that peachy colour as well, just to reflect the pattern paper frame that I've got. So I've just brought that in a little bit more on each of my 3 columns. Wasn't sure about the bow here that I had. It's just from my stash. It doesn't go on in the end. Anyway, that's fine. Sometimes you just have to play around with things and just let them sit there and, make a decision. I've got the mini puffy stickers here, and I'm just using some of I've got the little striped sort of epoxy dots here. Say epoxy dots, they're little puffy stickers. But I'm just adding one of those into each column. got the butterfly at the top there, but I don't use it in the end. I decided I wanted to keep that top area on the outer columns clear, and then just have that central one with more of the cluster. Okay, and then finally title. So I've got the fabulous blue alphas there in the main kit, and I've just got the word celebrate. I'm just sticking it down onto my ruler because I'm just going to work out where it's going to go. I wasn't quite sure. I thought it would go here, but I thought I'd just wait and have a little play. So in a moment, it will move on and you'll see the final layout. I do end up there in the end. Okay, so I think here's the close up. There we go. I've also added my journaling. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video. As I say, it really is quite an easy mixed media technique using the acrylic blocks to apply your inks and also to add some stamping for some extra detail. Thank you so much for watching me, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye for now.